What's up, everybody? Thank you for clicking on this video. So as the name suggests, I have made a decision on my new bow for 2020. I'm still going to keep the Athens. I'm going to set it up and get it going too. But everybody knows I've reviewed several bows from the East Texas Hardware and Pro Shop. And I've gotten some questions in the comments as to what I felt was the best bow, and if I could go buy one, which one would it be? First off, I want to say I think every company made a good offering. I don't think you'd be really disappointed with any of them. There are a couple that were just, they shined above the rest. And those two companies were PSE and Matthews. Those bows just shot very well. They were super smooth, both draw cycle, on the shot, post-shot vibration, and they felt really, really good for me. You know, I'm a 31.5-inch draw length, so my opinion and my perception of bows is going to be different than most people, especially if you're only a 28 or under draw length shooter. A lot more bows are going to be a lot smoother for you versus me, and it's just due to your draw force curve and the leverage of your draw cycle and stuff like that. It just seems like most bows that get under 28 inches become really, really smooth. One of them that stands out in mind, just for example, was the Bowtech RPM 360. If you had a short draw length, that was a very smooth bow. The minute you got it over 29 inches, that bow was a woolly booger to draw. But the PSE Evo NXT, the NTN 33 were both those models super smooth. Both of the VXRs were super smooth. So I'm holding a box, so I ended up getting one. And so what we're going to do, we're going to do an unboxing. We're also going to do a build real quick. It shouldn't take us very long to get it built, and a rough sight in on it. And hopefully, if not this week, next week I can go see if I can find a pig to shoot with it. So I'm just going to quit talking and start opening. Some broadheads, other packaging. I went with the VXR 31.5. This is an ambush green. We did 70 pounds, 31-inch draw length. These run a little bit long in draw length, and that's one reason I went with it, is I will be able to get it to my 31.5. This is just a sweet shooting bow. Looks really good, and this is the first Matthews that they've ever made that really just fits me very, very well. The Traverse did as well, but another thing that appealed me and drew me to this bow was the axle-to-axle length. I've never, ever been able to get a bow that was sub 33 inches. I think there's been a couple companies that made a 32-inch bow, but most of them are going to be that 33 to 35-inch bow. And like my Athens is 34, my Carbon Spider was 34, my Decree HD that I shot for years was a 35. The bow before that was a 35, was a Hoyt CRX 35. So I've always had to shoot a longer bow, and I really like the ability that it's only 31 inches, 31.5 inches axle to axle, so I think that's pretty neat. But we're going to build this bad boy and shoot through the chronograph with my arrows, get it paper tuned real good, and just see how it does and see how easy this bow is to set up. I hope it's real easy because that makes the videos a whole lot simpler when it goes smooth. So we're going to set up a VXR. Alright, so I'm going to mount my EZV on here, and I had a couple people wonder, how do you kind of get your bubble level? Now the only way that I know to do it is you level your bow with, like I just used a 4-foot level to make sure it's good and level. And you mount your sight, and it's a little bit of trial and error, but you mount your sight, and then you may have to shim one side of that sight or the other, top or bottom, and you can just use little nylon washers or spacers, whatever you really got, it'll work. To get your bubble level in your EZV, so you know that it's at least leveled this way on your bow. Works out pretty good. So right now, we got it on there, so what we're going to do, like I said, I already had it leveled, but I just want to verify it. So I'm actually running about level with the bubble right now, and I don't even have to shim it. So my bubble in the EZV is the same as the bubble in this one, so I'm not even going to have to shim it. If I feel like I'm canting the bow one way or the other to get it to level up, then I'll make an adjustment. But right now, I'm just going to run this because it's level. Alright, well that setup's super easy, super quick. I still have to throw a peep sight and my nose button on there, but I'm going to go shoot it through paper one time just to see if I have to make any top hat adjustments. I want to do all that while it's in the press one time, if at all possible. So anyway, pretty easy set. Get a little left. Getting a little left here, so we're going to make an adjustment, make sure everything's running down the pipe. I'll measure it one time. If we have to, we'll just swap the top hat. Alright, so we are going to have to swap the top hats. So essentially what the top hats are, it's a really neat system. They're little, they look like a top hat, and you'll see in a second, but this side is longer or wider than the other side, and I need to move my cam to the left. So I'm just going to swap them around, put the thicker side on the right to push my cam to the left. And these axles are really, really simple and easy to put in, or take out, shall I say. So I'll take this screw out. Don't lose this because you need it. Push it out. Big old beefy axles too, which is another cool thing. Oh, until you bend them. Just gonna drop my cam right there. It looked like Abe Lincoln's top hat. Little foot, but anyway. So we're just gonna swap these bad boys out. That's that wide one, which this is the difference of it. Okay, so this one was on the left side, pushing the cam to the right. I need to push it back to the left. So simple and straightforward, just like that. Put your cam back into the groove, slide your axle back through, and voila, you have shimmed one cam. Now what you do for the top, you need to do to the bottom. So we're just going to do the same thing real quick. drop my peep sight in since I already got it in the press, and shoot it through paper again and see if that fixes it. Matthews. Okay, so I just bought this bow, came from the factory this way. The shims were not the same on top and bottom. Shame. Anyway, so my wide one was already on the correct side, but on top it wasn't. So I'm just going to put it back together. I wish I should have looked before I pulled the cam apart, but usually they're the same. What's on top is on bottom. Got a total peep sight. If y'all haven't seen those, go check them out. It's like a sunshade on both ends. And also what the cool thing about it is if it turns on you a little bit left and right, you still see a perfect circle through there, so you don't get any left-right misses. So it's actually pretty neat. A little up there now. I'm going to move my peep sight up and then check the cam timing, and that should pull out. So we're just going to check draw length and cam timing to make sure it's in sync. This is a draw board I built a long time ago. I'm going to tell you you're not in time. So what I mean by cam timing is, so you see these little pegs right there. Got one on top and one on bottom, so we can look. That one is touching the cable. Oh wait, and the top one's out just a little bit. So whenever they leave, you can see the top one is actually leaving faster, which is why we're getting a knock high. So add a twist to the bottom cable, and it should speed up the top, and that bullet hole or that little tear through paper should go away. I put, I think, a half of a twist into this cable right here, because that's the one that was hitting first. And voila! They are hitting identical. And then the draw length is right at 31.5 right there. And that's about right. Matthews run about a 1/2 inch long, so perfect. Yeah. Got just a smidge of an up, but I also think that is just me getting used to this grip. So we've completely set up this VXR. Got the nose button, the total peak, cat whiskers, quiver, sight, everything in. It's roughly sighted in, shot it a few times. Timing is perfect, shooting a decent bullet hole. I'm going to shoot this bow and get comfortable with the grip before I really fine tune it through paper. Again, this is the first Matthews I've ever owned. Again, we got the Easy V sight. We got a 12-inch spider, 7-degree or 10-degree turn down from Bee Stinger. And the arrows we're shooting are just the standard Black Eagle Renegades. So once I get it all tuned up tomorrow, I'm going to shoot it through the chronograph to see how fast we're going. But first, let's take some shots.